to keep supporting the entrepreneurship. So I just wanted to really welcome you all here and have it all sorted. Like, we want to have you benefiting as much as possible. So you'll be seeing and hearing myself today, and as well as Emmy. I'm just gonna scroll over.
Hello.
She's here. Safely distancing. So it's gonna be myself mainly throughout the talk, and Emmy will help you as well and share some insights as well as the questions and answers. As I said, I have the chat box right here open with me. So you can share your questions, raise the points as we go along. We do the questions towards end of the presentation, but I'll keep on reviewing questions coming in. If it's something quickly relevant, I'll go on it. If it's something that I believe it fits to the FAQ section, we'll leave it there. And first of all, I'm Julia, Creative971 co-founder and CEO. Today, we'll be talking about how to smartly digitize your business and tips and tricks, live practice points, how you can get there without, let's say, breaking the bank and with making things happen with the capacities that you already have. Now, I want you to see that, or to understand that from a background, we are only working on e-commerce. So that means we build UI, UX focused e-commerce website, focus on performance as well, performance marketing. So this is in and out what we do the past 5 years as a company. We're based here in Dubai, in Business Bay, in Bay Square to be exact. Here you can see a picture of myself and my brother, which are co-owning, originally from Germany. And maybe a small fun fact here, like how did we come to our name, or how did we come to that? The numbers 971 are the country code numbers. And we just felt it's a cool approach, to let that vision or the country's tradition come into our business, and just have that connection shown into our logo and our thoughts as well. So that's just a small private story. Throughout the talk, you'll understand why I told you this, or probably why things like this are important for even your business, for any type of business. Just makes things much more approachable. Now, here you can see, as I said, Emmy and myself will be part of the talk. Emmy is a project manager, and she's basically worked the past years with us and has been a great support. I'll let her introduce herself quickly.
Hello, everyone. This is Emmy. I've joined Creative971 team since 2 years for now. And I've been working on several projects. So if you have any questions regarding to Shopify, or basically how to manage your business, or anything regarding or related to the current presentation, I'll be here to answer all of your questions. Pleasure meeting you all.
So that's far as it goes as well from Emmy. And just to see that Emmy is an Arabic speaker. So if any of you have Arabic questions later on, or something specifically, if Arabization on Shopify, how does it work? Emmy is here to jump in as well. So next one, as I said today briefly, our topic is to learn how to smartly digitize your business. So that includes, what do you need to go online? How much will it approximately cost? Like, we get these questions a lot. If you don't want to just, load a free theme, for example, from Shopify, or like a simple Shopify theme, like how can you go about it to start lean, but to start efficient, that your marketing will definitely give you results, which is what we're looking for. And let's say, how did the pandemic and the e-commerce strategy change? Like, here it's written post-pandemic. That's a deep wish of all of ours, but still pandemic. So I just want to highlight a few points that have been proven very successful in the e-commerce in the past, let's say since lockdown times, beginning times, that we've learned from a learning curve from clients, and as well what the market shows us. Now, to come to the first topic, it's about digital business transformation. So it's not about just saying, okay, I have a website and here we go. So sorry, I just flipped over that. So it means it's a transformation as a process that is not only relating to your website, but it's also of the operation of translating down to the social media and everything. So before you actually say, okay, let me just get into a website, understand what are my key points, what are my selling points, who are my competitors, and how can I get a better relationship with my clients from going online or from digitizing my processes. So that's first and foremost, sit down and have that awareness, have that understanding, because every business is different, and you would need to know, maybe a customer has raised, oh, it would be cool if I can book your services online, or it would be cool if I can do this. So these points would be great to elaborate. Now, as I said, improve your existing business process, understand where it can go. See, for example, for a new product and service, let's say we're a digital agency, right? So we're not selling as much as an e-commerce product as you would think so, but we started as well selling videos online. So what are we doing? We're selling an online course of how to set up your Shopify business, for example. So any type of business that you're in, you can sell either digitized content, you can sell ebooks, you can sell products, right? You can sell services online. So there is a lot of ways to make things happen and to let your business grow. Now, to help you a bit, because it's nice and easily said, get into something and keep going. Of course, it's a thought process, and as well, of course, what your customers are asking for and what they're willing to pay for it in return. So try to make things simple and easy. Let's say, even if you have the plan, you want to sell online, you don't know where to start on social media, or start on having a simple website, having one call to action, see the reaction, test, and then learn from that. It's much more worth to have actual data-driven response from a client or any feedback that you can gather, rather than trying to perfectionize the website that never can be perfectionized, because your customers live with your engagement and your website only as much as you give them back, like as much as you read out data. And as a tip, you don't have to do it all yourself, right? Like there's companies like ourselves helping you on marketing or helping you on theme approaches or anything that can, help you to get started, as I said, lean. Now, these days, why do businesses want to go online? I think these are a couple of valid reasons that most of you might be aware of. Improving customer experience, reducing operational cost, increased productivity. Now, open to new market possibilities is something, of course, with COVID-19, we've seen that a lot of things have improved. A lot of things can be done. And of course, strengthening and enhancing your brand. Now, it means, like, if you look at a consumer back in the days, a consumer would have probably just, purchased a cinema ticket or an airline ticket online, right? Which most of the people already did as a mere fact. I think grocery online shopping, pharmacies, any sort of convenience or personal protection equipment sales, they have been the huge winners since the pandemic. And we've been seeing a lot of traction when it comes that customers are always tech dependent. I think we become more and more tech dependent. I mean, without tech today, we would not have this webinar, first of all. Every one of us sitting safe from their homes or offices. But I think that's a good point to say that technology can help us, but it only helps us as far as we bring in a human element. So I'll give you one example. If you would not see me on the video, and if you just would look at the screen, you would be like, okay, fine, it's someone talking, I get information, fair enough. But if I'm having a website and I don't know, we probably see other countries and around the globe going into second lockdowns again. So how do they manage that, right? They would go ahead and say, guys, we'll have a, we'll establish a live chat, or have, like a live chat functionality, or would be more active on social media chat responsibilities, like, or sharing more YouTube videos. Why? Because when you're quick, and these days people demand, like, or kind of expect quick replies. Like, there used to be the rule of thumb before, when you send an email within 24 hours, that email should get a response. I believe it's much faster now, like, especially if I try to approach a business, and no matter what you're selling, right, I should have almost an instant answer. And because so many people already enable that, like, you can get a live chat option, you can ask, is this size, I'm usually size medium, whatever, would that fit me? If you get a live answer to that, your experience as a user would be, yes, I'm using tech, but I'm facing in a human element, and that would supercharge your experience. So if you're thinking about building up your e-commerce, digitizing, always think of how can I humanize, or how can I bring in the human element into my digitization of my processes, or even if it's internal processes, or even if it's an e-commerce site. Obviously, I don't have to talk about this much, I believe. You want to get the best out of it, so you have to get the best prepared, to be set for success. And it's not only the digital strategy, but also some of the best user practices. So for example, we've been working out as well a better UI UX, that how it is when you're on your mobile phone and you're overstretching your thumb, to reach and close or open a new page. You'll get fairly tired out, or you're not excited anymore to engage with that website because it becomes annoying. And then that's the point where we want to avoid reaching that point for any user of any type of digital service, because when you reach that inner boundary that you're getting annoyed, you're very unlikely to re-engage with that website or digital service offered. So having that in mind, we all run our business because of one fact, that we want to enjoy it. We want to do the world better. We want to do so many things. But in the end, you run a business because of also generating. So income generating is as well one of the factors of why people do businesses. I'm not saying it's the only one, but it is one to definitely focus on. And that brings us to survival of the fittest, which COVID-19 couldn't have hit any better. You might have to adapt all along the way. So it's not a story that, one shoe fits all and there you go, and this is what you do and it will run forever the way you want it to. So for some of you, it might hit a super quick profit, it might be super amazing and it will work out just the way as you planned it. For some of you, there might be a learning curve, there might need to be some partnerships with networking partners, with like-minded people in the industry. So it depends on the industry or what you're working on, what you're doing. But, try to keep constantly looking outside the box. And if you feel you don't know how to do that, the best is always get a survey, ask people, ask your friends, ask someone, that ask someone to be very objective with you and not just, oh, I'm your mom and I love everything you do. Ask them, because it will help you to refine your business. And here's one point where we see a bigger shortfall of a lot of online businesses is the security part. And that's why I also have to tell you that Shopify is one of the winners of this, let's say, security aspect. Shopify security is almost unbeatable, right? It's PCI level 1 compliant. That means it's that secure that you can compare it with a bank security. And especially now that we cannot, or a lot of people do not want to share personal data, no matter if it's in person or digital. And I think digital, it's even worse, looking at all the warnings that came through with, email frauds and payment frauds. So I think a platform that powers your business as Shopify gives you this level of security, gives also an ease of mind for you as a business owner, for your customer, that knowing to check out on that website leaves them safe and sound and they will not have to experience any headache. Because I can tell you that if anyone has a bad experience, even with the purchasing or delivery process, even though you are not the one who's managing the actual purchase or the actual delivery, they will be associating this to your brand. So you need to make sure that digital security is given. And I think Shopify is a good guess here. Why and how? I have some more examples after that. In general, digital transformation should have those 3 points: flexibility, efficiency, usability. Take a screenshot of this. It takes some time to think about it, how to apply this to your business. And it's just nice and easy to say those 3 words, but how it actually comes down in your business. Do you have the right resources? Will you manage everything yourself? If you manage everything yourself, maybe does it make sense if you want to enable a live chat on a website? Does it make sense to say, okay, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., I'm on the live chat, and the other times I'm probably offline? set yourself these rules, because the more you set yourself into these points, you set yourself, your business, and your plannings, as well as your team, in the right direction for success. Yeah, so that's a big point, and I want you either to screenshot this share or to keep it somewhere in the top of your mind. Keeping your customers happy is not about only to keep on the sales process, but if you're keeping your customers happy and they have a positive experience with you, maybe something outruling that they don't get anywhere else, then this is not only a reason for being successful, but as well to keep retaining customers and building loyalty, as well as building on top of your brand. And the only decisions you can make that are powerful are those decisions that are coming from your customers. So if a customer tells you, for example, about today's webinar, it was too long, or I didn't have detailed enough examples, or whatever, the comments might be, we can only work with getting the feedback from you and then making it better. But if I would sit here and I would just keep on going, or not getting any questions or not knowing what to do, in any type of business, I would, I'd not learn. I would keep on repeating my mistakes forever and ever. So that's a big curve that I want you guys to take with as well. Now, obviously, what we've seen, what the challenges are interactions with CRM tools, email marketing platforms, communication with existing clients. You can automate them to a certain point, but then again, there's like a line that you have to establish, or maybe customer segmentation. If this customer in the past has purchased from you only blue color items, right? Then you would send them specified information whenever you have blue color items coming up. You would not send them information if it's black colored items, for example. But if you see in their user behavior in the past they've bought black and blue items, you'd probably consider. So that's why I'm saying it's a learning curve, and the data and the technology is far, and they're learning with the user behavior as we are now. So make use of that, because it's quite powerful. As I said, this is what we're talking about, business intelligence, not only from a data perspective, but as well as from your team, or how you get different views, how you get different objectives, looking at how to make your business better. Again, sharing with the organization, it's not only sharing with your family and friends, maybe that's more in a startup stage, but when you're actually inside a business, you would want to know, okay, is there something I could change? Is there maybe an employee that has a super outstanding idea that I haven't even thought of? And I have an example myself. We have a team member, and she came up with something that we haven't even thought of, in the beginning of building the business. And then we were like, why didn't we think of that before? But, sometimes you can't keep your eyes everywhere. So make sure you share and you involve into the strategy to make sure that you can learn and grow from that. So coming a bit more to e-commerce alignment, which is the talk about digitization in general, pick the right product. I mean, that's something as well that you can go on to Google now. You can go on to, through Google Ads or keywords, you can figure out, what are the keywords that people are looking for on which location specific. So that would be on Google directly. Choose items that you probably produce yourself or that inspire you, that you can relate to. Second step would be moving on to your e-commerce. And coming back to the first one, a product doesn't have to be physical, right? It can be also video recording, like you're showing people how to online yoga classes, whatever, right? So you need to choose a platform. Why do we personally like Shopify? Is not only because it's the most secure, but it's the most affordable as well. It's the most intuitive and fastest adaptable to your business. And over and above everything, Shopify is the #1 e-commerce platform globally. And I don't know, it's maybe a side note for you to see how impactful that is. If you check the shares of Shopify in January, February, they were sitting maybe somewhat around $200, $250 per share. And now Shopify shares have crossed $1,000 per share. So, and that just, because of the relevancy, the e-commerce platforms gained, of course, highly accelerated by COVID, but still, and those points are proven a track record. So here we see how to create intriguing and memorable homepage. Why? Because you don't want just a customer to jump on your website and then in 2-3 seconds they feel, no, not interesting, they drop off. So what we want to give them something that looks cool, that looks in line, that looks neat. And I'm just going to play that video for you to give you an impression of what I'm talking about. So scrolling, it shows us big, clear categories, simple, small texts, headlines and subtext are aligned, like the readability, it's easily to navigate, it's easy to read, it shows me what are the products, it helps me how to find what I need, and that's it. So simple as that. I think I will just, as well here, like I will just pause the video here. When clicking on the mobile, there's major categories like shop, wholesale, contact us, and then under shop you find coffee, what other points as well. But the 3 main points are given, and then they react, of course, to hover effects, how they react to it, how they open, and how it gets translated down. So that's just one thing. I think now the video starts from the beginning. That is good to know. Then we come to overall, not only the structure of your homepage, but as well your branding. So how is the look and feel of your website? What do you want different? What has to be nice? I'll play that video as well, and then I'll let Emmy share 2-3 words on that after the video, because Emmy was actually the project manager of this website. So maybe she can share for Greta as well what has been going on. Let me just share the video with you now, and then Emmy will jump in.
Sure. As you can see in here, we are having the categories displayed in the navigation, and we do have the hero banner, which is linking us to different collections. You do have product carousel, which means that we are displaying different products. We're displaying different collections as well. And as you can see at the end, we are having the Instagram feed in there. And the Instagram feed, if you will check the website, it's actually having the products and items linked and tagged, which means that you could actually shop the full look just by fetching your Instagram feed in your website, of course, while using the correct applications. And in here we're showing you as well the drop down. What you can see, we're using more visuals in the drop down just because this website was made for youngs. So it's basically, as you can see, young people, or it's for girls. So it's not for, let's say the age is not from 15 to 20, but however, it's from the teens up to 15 years old, which means that we need to make the website and design it and the functionality, everything to attract those customers and the target customers. So moms are shopping for their young daughters, and hence we need to add more visuals, and that's what was actually developed for Greta. So even the drop-down menus, it had more visuals and more images, just to make sure that it is developed according to the target audience.
Yeah. So here we go. Next one as well would be the creation of product pages. So as well here, Emmy has as well another point on the product page. I'll play the video again.
And what you can see here in the product pages, just as I've mentioned previously, we are using more big images and more visuals. Not only that, but we are also having the USPs, and you can see the select the size option, which is the year. So in here, when you click on add to cart, it won't allow you to add the item to the cart unless the select size drop down will appear. And it's more user friendly this way. So basically those are the important points that you need to think of or consider while developing or was, just at least aligning your business, your e-commerce business. So it's very important to make sure that your website does not only look clean and good, but it's user experience friendly, and it is designed in a way that you're targeting the it is only to that specific target of group. So you're targeting the correct group instead of designing it or developing it for yourself, because basically you won't be the one purchasing from our website, but those specific targeted groups will be purchasing it from your website.
Yeah, and in general, as you can see here in the picture as well, like just without the video playing, the pictures are in a 2/3, 1/3 ratio. So we have 2/3 of content of images and 1/3 of text. What does it do in a human eye? It gives me the focus on the visual, but it allows me as well to read and see the content properly. And we want from a product page, when you click on it, you see all the necessary information without being distracted. And I think this is what was very well done on Greta as a site, and what Emmy just said is it's very important too. Now, on the part of setting up a blog and social media accounts, obviously once you've worked through that, you will know your branding, you will know the touch and feel. So we would recommend you set up the blog on the Shopify page, have your social media accounts implemented in the website as well, so you can co-share. It just gives way more traction and more credibility, because users today, they don't look like, okay, here I am and this is how it is. And in Corona, we have the situation that before, you would call up an office number. In the lockdown, there was no office number to call. Nobody would have answered the phone. Some companies probably would have done their precautions last minute, but a lot of them didn't. And how you can reach out and stay in contact is usually the easiest with any company on social media, because they would even reply sometimes, not necessarily out of office hours, but they would still reply in a quicker manner than sending an email to them. And having that in mind, as we know as well, the world is fast living. So social media and blogs just keep an activity to your website that shows your customer, okay, these guys are in the market, they're active, they're actually caring. And I think that care and trust has been becoming more and more important with everything that we've seen. Now, obviously, set up your checkout, shopping cart, and wish list. Those things are essential when it comes to shopping on Shopify. It's very easily done. We have, as well, as I've mentioned, a few points on the post-pandemic or pandemic effect that Corona given chances as well. Of course, obstacles a lot, but as well chances. As I said, I think the few biggest key takeaways, apart from the live chat, is as well, as I said, social media channels, unified presence of the brand, and as well helping people to understand that there are objectives, there are points that slow down certain processes, but as long as you're there and give the trust and you are in front of the customer and try to make things right, I mean, that is should be appreciated much more. I mean, maybe, Emmy, you want to share as well how you can build a more effective way to build your online presence. And Emmy has just some good tips for you here as well.
So to actually build your website in a more efficient way, first of all, you need to have your email list, which is, let's say, where you usually save all your customer details in there, because it's very important for you as a business owner to have your customer list, let's say, saved somewhere, so that you will be able to reach and promote more your new collections, your new products, or let's say any other new sales as well, or any current promotions, you'll be able to promote it in a faster way. You need to master the SEO. SEO is very important when you're looking forward to reach to a wide variety of customers, or when you actually want to market your brand. Without having the correct SEO implemented in your website won't rank in the search engine result page, which means that people who usually search in Google, they won't be able to find your website. So you need to make sure that you are adding the correct keywords whenever you are, let's say, just working on your product details, working on the content presented in the website. SEO, there's something called as on-page SEO and off-page SEO. So on-page is the words that you usually implement in your content, and off-page is from the back end. So even the back end SEO should be optimized in a way that the search result engine will pop up, or let's say will show your brand as the first couple of, let's say, 5 results. So by this, you make sure that people will be able to know more about your brand, and you will reach to a wider variety of customers. Point number 3 is to create a value. So you need to know the price of your item. You need to actually do your research first. And according to your research, then you would need to price your items accordingly. It shouldn't be very expensive, it shouldn't be very cheap, because even if some of the items, if they are very extremely cheap, then people will start questioning the quality. So you need to make sure that you're pricing your items in a manner that it makes sense to the customers and you can beat as well the competition. Point number 4 is to be active online. As Julia mentioned, you need to always stay active in your social media, because if you're not active, people will forget about your brand, even though if I shopped once from you. You need to all constantly remind me about you, about your brand, about your products. So it's very important for you, let's say, not only on social media, but also email marketing campaign. So all of those marketing strategies, you need to be to work strictly on it, and you need to be more active. Otherwise, people will forget about your brand, and that's not what we want. Point number 5 is to analyze your results. Now, once you do your SEO, once you're very active on your email marketing, you need to know what is the outcome and how can you improve it more. So it's not only about doing the effort, but you need to give time for yourself to see the outcome. How are the customers actually interfering with your website? How are they responding to your emails, to your social media campaigns? So what you need to actually improve, because it's always a continuous improvement. Point number 6 is to have a social media presence. As Julie have mentioned, the importance of social media. You can as well display some of your social media posts in your e-commerce page, so you can synchronize both of them. Point number 6 is to create an e-commerce business. You need to have an e-commerce website, of course, because otherwise, where can you sell your items? You can sell your items through social media, but then it won't be a very, let's say, stable solution for you, and you won't be able to grow your business more. So if you want to grow your business more, you definitely need to have an e-commerce business. And there are several platforms where you can use, or let's say, to create your e-commerce business through, but we definitely recommend Shopify due to its ease of management, and due to the they're having several plans as well, so it fits a very wide variety of people, whether you're a startup or an enterprise. Point number 7 is to produce content, which is the blogs. So you need to always keep on updating your blogs. Just try to at least post blogs every now and then, just so that people know who is actually behind this brand and what is your values, your mission. So it's not only about your items, but more about the story of the brand as well. The last point here is to personify your brand, which means that your brand should have its own taste, or let's say the words that you are using should reflect on you as a company and your team as well. So if you are, as let's take Greta as an example. So Greta, we are targeting young girls, and hence our words should be targeted to them. So we cannot use a very corporate text, but we need to use some friendly words so that you are interacting with the correct people with the same, let's say, phrases that they usually use. So this is the effective ways that you could actually implement in your website to make sure that you're having your e-commerce business successfully, not only e-commerce business, but in general, your online presence.
Yeah. So here we go. Also, like, apart from that, if you have an existing presence online, you would need to make sure to optimize your website for mobile. That means give it a more user experience element, as I said earlier, with overreaching the thumb example. And protecting your customers' data, believe it or not, it's really very important. So you have to focus on that. And other than that as well, on focusing on the networking with your existing network, with your friends, customers, whatsoever. I believe the best way you can leverage the plan, or how you can leverage your own existing points, I would recommend you take a screenshot of this slide. It says focus more on the fundamentals. So that's what I mentioned in terms of care for your customers, care for your employees, care for the community. If you're a business like a homegrown business in the UAE, give it a dedication. That's what I said earlier when I give the example of why did we choose the numbers 971. Give something, you know, that people can relate to, that why did you come up with the name? So it's kind of a care or a grateful, you know, move towards the UAE that has enabled me as a German, you know, for example, to be here, live here and work. So these things are important because people understand of not only the reason that you're just sitting there trying to make money, but you're doing certain things because of reasons that move you or on your personality. And these are very important. Meet your customers as they are today. So as we said, you know, give them digital options, but listen to them if they rather need more individualized approach, or, you know, like now in the Corona times, we want to make physical touch points as less as possible, you know, so understand that and have empathy and understand where you would feel safe as a customer without even asking your customers. Ask yourself, how would you want to experience that in that moment? And reimagine as well, if you were thinking of opening a store, maybe think, do I actually need a store? Could I have a pop-up? You know, do I drive more marketing digitally? So it's just more of adapting where you are and going along with it. Now, here's a bit of an insight of more of the case studies. If you want to know what we've built, like Emmy has explained you about Greta, like have a look at, you know, at our ways, how we build out certain things, how did we focus on certain points on websites that we've been building for customers. And maybe that will give you some good insights as well. Now, I'm jumping over to Majid now, that has some words to say on this survey form, because as I told you guys, it's very important to get feedback from actual people that listen or are with you. And that's, I think, the target that we're having now as well.
Exactly. Hi, everyone. So I'd like to share a feedback form with everyone. In this feedback form, you'll just let us know how the meetup went. And you can also let us know what sort of meetups you'd like to see in the future, because that's how we decide how to proceed with our events, just based on what our community wants to see. So I just sent the form in the chat. It's very quick. It should take a minute or two. Please do fill it out. I'd love to hear from everyone in this meetup. And then we can proceed with the Q&A with Julia and Emmy. Right? Yeah. And anyone, sorry, one more thing. Anyone who fills out the feedback form, I'll be sending you an email with the video, the recording of this meetup, if you'd like to go back to it and watch it later.
Yeah, that's cool. Thanks, Majid. I think we would need that too. Apart from that, we've reached the end of the presentation, but as Majid said, the recording and the presentation will be shared. Mm-hmm. I know the topics we touched are not sometimes, you know, easily to grasp, because everyone has their own experience, their own business, you know, their own processes. So here in the next few minutes, we want to focus on the questions and, you know, like really making this an experience that you learn from, that you have a takeaway point. So let us know, you know, what are questions to what we've gone through. Is there any specific question, any e-commerce entrepreneurs out there that need some support? Mm-hmm. I think, I don't know, Majid, if you mentioned, but I think you can type it in the group chat.
Yes, of course. You can ask your questions in the chat.
Even if you have any questions related to Shopify, you could definitely ask us, even if we did not touch that topic in our in today's webinar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if there is no questions, maybe what we can do or what we can say other than that is the best way is to categorize what business you're in. Is it a service business? Is it a product sale business? You know, and then distinguish from there. Service businesses and product-based businesses operate completely different. So yeah, while I'm talking, thank you, Yazi, for sending that question. WooCommerce versus Shopify, good question. Maybe quick insight, WooCommerce originated by WordPress. WordPress is a blog platform that has been created many years ago to serve the purpose of sharing content, commenting on that content, and that's the basic functionality. So obviously, since the evolved version of WordPress allowing sales is WooCommerce, but with the original initiation, of course, of content. Shopify has been created for the sole purpose of e-commerce. As I said, Shopify is the e-commerce market leader globally. So as well, on all the points on security that I mentioned, it's definitely always going to be the answer, Shopify.
Definitely.
Plus, we're Shopify experts. I mean, apart from being biased on that, there's a reason of why we chose to focus only on one platform and make that successful, is that we understand what it empowers businesses with. WooCommerce has a back end. If anyone who knows WordPress as a back end to upload content, if you think this is easy, Shopify is going to be extremely easy, much easier than a WordPress, even from an admin perspective, or as well as handling things, placing content, and having the SEO friendliness and alignment for mobile, which a lot of times on WooCommerce is not part as a built-in set or skill set for the platform itself. Yasi, I hope that answers the question, or I don't know if you have a specific questions on what's your decision on WooCommerce or Shopify. I would appreciate a more detailed question. Other than that, I think that's more than enough said on the comparison. Yeah.
Any other questions?
I have just seen Raheel, can I get the presentation? Yes, of course, it will be shared. Yazi, again, I hope this was a successful reply to your question. Other than that, I mean, we are reachable as well, right? I think it's on the next slide. Our email address, our phone number, feel free to reach out. It would be cool if you can give us like an Instagram like or shout out as well to Astrolabs and ourselves for organizing this. And I just see Shilpa has recommended or has asked for a recommendation.
What shipping partners do you recommend? We do recommend, it's not that we do recommend, but I could list for you some shipping partners that are actually here in the UAE. So it's easier for you to communicate with. And there as well, you could integrate it easily with Shopify. First of all, our partners are DHL, so you could definitely get in touch with DHL. We do have Armex as well. There is Posta Plus, and those are the shipping partners that you could actually get in touch with. We do have a YouTube video as well that explains more about our shipping partners. So if you want, please send us an email, and we will definitely send you the link accordingly, so that you could have more detailed explanation on the shipping partners in the UAE.
Yeah, especially maybe as Emmy mentioned, and Shilpa, interesting for you or for everyone to know, there was a recent announcement a few days ago in the newspaper all across the UAE that our company Creative 971 is official partner with DHL Express in the UAE. And obviously that partnership is strongly valued. So we have, worked on helping out getting integrations done. We're helping clients to integrate. DHL is the go-to shipment partner that we have, not only when you look at price points, because a lot of times you might find a cheaper supplier, but do give a shout to DHL Express. They have incredible opportunities. They're professional, and that's the reason why we've partnered up with them. So yeah, that's just one point. But other than that, as if you already work with a shipping provider, Emmy has a list of those that are integrating in Shopify, and those ones should be the one to look at, because if any shipping provider out there in the UAE does not have a valid integration into Shopify, you're going to have a hard time in a lot of operations, which obviously if you can avoid it, it's much better to do that. Yeah.
And actually depends as well on where are you planning to ship. Are you only planning to ship domestic shipping, or will it be worldwide? And if you're looking forward for domestic and worldwide, then of course DHL is the go-to shipping partner, as they do offer worldwide shipments as well. Any other questions?
Yeah, I'll just proceed here as well. Thank you and stay safe. This is our message. I think what I would write to everyone here as well is our social media handle. So it's in LinkedIn or Twitter, etc. And I believe as well for Astrolabs, I'm going to mention that as well, because what we would like to do is to get some social media love. Astrolabs ME. So if you post a story or post anything, just make sure to like, subscribe, follow us. Astrolabs has been supporting us. I mean, we are a startup in our 5th year of existing. Astrolabs has been supporting us from day one. And yeah, we just want to make sure that you understand supporting the community where you can is the right thing to do. So I just wanted to drop that and say thanks to everyone there.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Julia and Emmy, for the wonderful webinar. If there are no more questions, I think that's it for the rest of the day. Hopefully, we'll see you in any of our future meetups. All right.
Yep, will be cool.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your day.
Bye. Bye.